In this video, I'm going to rank every single weapon in the brand new Fortnite Simpsons season from worst to best. Besides the servers getting absolutely nuked, this season has been a ton of fun and I have poured a bunch of hours in, and I wanted to get this video out as quickly as possible for you guys so you guys know which weapons you should be taking and which ones you should be leaving behind. For healing items, those will be left off this list. I think I'm just going to end up ranking them in a separate video. I just can't compare them against weapons. With that being said, let's get into ranking every single weapon in this Simpsons season. At number 14 is going to be the suppressed pistol. And I just need to say one thing right now, this loot pool is incredibly balanced. Like, there is so much good balance going on here. There wasn't any weapon that was like, oh, it's automatically the worst. Unfortunately, the suppressed pistol just kind of fell into that category. It's not bad, but you're just going to find better alternatives on the ground, especially the other pistol that's in this season, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Number 13 is the suppressed scar. So this is an interesting one, right? I've never really been a fan of the suppressed scar, but this time around, they gave it a lot less bloom, which was one of the bigger problems, and then I believe they nerfed the fire rate a little bit. Unfortunately for me, it just doesn't feel like enough for me to pick it up. I still feel that bloom. You're really only going to want to use this weapon when you're tap firing it. Again, like I said, this loot pool is so balanced. Like, any weapon is truly viable, but for me, I think the suppressed scar kind of falls as the worst assault rifle. And number 12 is Jebediah's protective helm. And yes, I know it's not a weapon, but it is a brand new item, and I didn't want to put it in the healing items video because it's not a healing item, so I wanted to include it here. This item is really kind of unique. You find it on the ground, it's a mythic item. It becomes part of your inventory, and it will absorb one headshot, and then it falls off of your body, and you can pick it up again and put it in your inventory. The problem is, it reveals your location. Now, I feel like this is a good item, like, for box fighting, but I just feel like most of the time, like, the benefit is not really worth revealing yourself on the map. Like, yeah, it's good, but remember, it does take up an inventory slot. You know, the bush was good because you could just throw it on, and then it wouldn't have to be in your inventory anymore, but you'd still get the benefits of being able to block a shot. I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this item in the comment section down below. For me, I didn't really find it that impactful, but obviously you don't really know how impactful it's going to be until you're about to get 200 pumped in the head and then it absorbs all the damage. For me right now, I just don't know that it's worth taking to, you know, reveal your location on the map, especially on a really tiny map like the one we've got here. And number 11 is the compact SMG. I'm just really not crazy about this weapon this season. Again, I don't know if it's just me, but they nerfed it even more than it already was nerfed. Like, it just doesn't feel like it hits that hard, especially now that you've got those lower rarities like, you know, the uncommon, the green rarity of the compact SMG. And those lower rarities, I think you're probably better off with the machine SMG. The magazine size is also only 30 as opposed to what it used to be, 35. And then remember, back in the day it was 40 and then even 50. So yeah, this thing has seen a bunch of nerfs, and I think it's probably the worst SMG in the game right now. So that means I think that it's beaten out by its SMG counterpart at number 10, the machine SMG. Now, the machine SMG is never a weapon that I've really been crazy high on, but I've just found a lot of success with this weapon this season. I don't really know what it is. It feels really good. They finally fixed the bloom a little bit, right? You're still not going to want to use this thing at long range, but at close range, you now have more bullets in a mag than you do with the compact. You out DPS the compact SMG with the machine SMG, and with SMGs, that's a really important statistic, right? Who can put out the most damage in the quickest amount of time? Because honestly, you're not really looking for range from your SMG anyways. And so from my experience, I found that the machine SMG just feels better than the compact, but honestly, both SMGs really aren't anything special, right? Like, neither of them stick out as like, oh, you know what? I've got to carry them in my inventory. And number 9 is the infantry rifle. And let me just say something. The infantry rifle having its low tier rarity artwork for the purple and legendary rarities is absolutely cursed. The infantry is pretty good, right? It has 0 bloom, legitimately 0 bloom, always first shot accuracy. If you are accurate, you are going to love this assault rifle, as it has always been. But I just saw something on Twitter that says the infantry rifle is now fully automatic. Now, when I was playing this season, I didn't even think to hold down the trigger of the infantry rifle, right? Just shoot a shot, take your finger off the trigger, and then shoot another one. So if it's true that the infantry rifle actually is fully automatic and also still has no bloom, well, that could really change his weapon. But for my playing, it just simply played like the infantry rifle always has. It's a great weapon that honestly probably should be a marksman rifle. Accurate players are going to feast with this AR over really any other weapon this season. And number 8 is the Striker AR. Yes, the one from Chapter 5, except this time it is now hit scan instead of being projectile. Now, if you go on Twitter, you'll see, oh, the Striker AR has been insanely nerfed. Well, it's not truly a nerf. They just had to readjust the statistics. Obviously, when this thing used to shoot projectiles, all the damage numbers and stuff were all mega inflated because you're not going to hit as many shots when it's projectile. But now that it's hit scan, they've nerfed everything down a little bit, but it's not truly a nerf. This AR to me feels like the best one in the meta, and I'm going to keep reiterating throughout this video, I do think that all 3 assault rifles could be used, right? Like, that's how it feels for every weapon in this loot pool. They all feel usable. So don't take too much stock in the, exact placements of where these ARs and especially shotguns place. At number 7 is going to be the Ranger shotgun, and the Ranger shotgun is really, really good. I was using a green one today, and the green version is hitting for 115 damage a shot. Now, what I will say is, as you'll note, I think it's the worst shotgun this season, but again, it can be so deadly in the right hands. You only get one shot. I don't really like those high risk, high reward shotguns. I prefer something more consistent like a TAC or a Thunder. But as long as you hit that shot, you are always hitting for big time damage. And it feels like to me, as long as I hit my Ranger shotgun shot, I'm probably going to win the gunfight. And that's a pretty good feeling. At number 6 is the Enhanced Compact SMG. To my knowledge, this weapon is enhanced through the fire rate. It has a much faster fire rate than the regular Compact SMG. At the end of the day, it is a mythic version of the Compact, so it should be better, and it is. It's perfectly fine, right? Like, if you're running a Thunder Shotgun or Ranger and you find the Enhanced Compact SMG on the ground, are you going to take it? Yeah, I think so. But if you're running, the Mythic TAC, for example, there's really no reason to pick up this weapon. At number 5 is the TAC Shotgun, and I don't know what it is this season. I know they buffed the damage a little bit. The TAC Shotgun is hitting like an absolute truck. This thing is hitting for huge damage. I was never like the biggest TAC shotgun fan. I've always been a pump over TAC guy, but man, this thing is really strong. If you get your hands on it and you find yourself absolutely giga frying people, I mean, hold on to it because this thing's pretty good this season. And number 4 is going to be the Thunder shotgun. Yeah, I think the Thunder's better than the TAC and of course the Ranger. This is personal preference though. I've always been a pump shotgun fan. The Thunder just feels like it is hitting for absolute nukes. In that legendary version, you're hitting for like 120, 130 damage. Now, obviously, you've got a slow fire rate with a very slow reload speed. And I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me say this throughout this video. Literally, any of these shotguns could be used effectively. I have had gameplay for all 3, and I've been super impressed by all of them. The balance this season has been absolutely incredible. Something that, yeah, I can't say about Chapter 6, Season 4, which unfortunately for me actually makes things harder to rank when everything's so balanced. And number 3 is going to be Mr. Blasty's revolver. And if you watch the early gameplay that all these streamers had put out, they were all using this revolver, and you can hear them all say the same thing. Wow, this thing's absolutely broken. Is it better than something like the Wrecker revolver we saw in Chapter 6, Season 4? No, I don't think so. Is it better than something like the Mammoth pistol? No, I don't think so, but this is still a really good pistol. You're hitting for, 50 damage or so on a pistol with an incredibly fast fire rate with 0 bloom. That's always the problem with a revolver, right? Is that you have to shoot it, and then you have to wait for the, first shot accuracy to come back, and then you shoot again. With this weapon, it's just one after another, and you will get absolutely destroyed by this weapon. My only complaint is it feels kind of rare. I've only used it a couple times, but every time I've used it and every time I've watched gameplay of it, it feels like it absolutely shreds. This is a very good pistol. And number 2 is going to be the Enhanced TAC shotgun. Yeah, the Enhanced TAC shotgun is doing over 100 damage a shot. That means you can 2-tap somebody in builds mode. I saw some people on Twitter kind of overreacting to this, like, oh, Mythic TAC, it's Gatekeeper 2.0. No, I don't think we're talking like, Gatekeeper territory, but this thing is still pretty good. I absolutely think it's the best shotgun this season. Now, I will say we already have a ton of new things that are being leaked for this season. They're going to come out in the coming weeks, and one of them is a shotgun, so there's a chance it could overtake this weapon. Should you go like out of your way to try and get this thing off drop? I don't really think so, but if you kill somebody and they have the Enhanced TAC shotgun, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't take it over any of the other shotguns in the game right now. But it's not at number 1, and so we might as well get to that number 1 spot. In my opinion, the best weapon in this season so far is Krusty's Mr. Blasty. This is an exotic version of the Mr. Blasty revolver, and on the first shot of every single magazine, it creates a balloon explosion that actually attaches balloons to your opponent. It's actually pretty good, right? Like, that effect to me feels very similar to the, voltage burst pistol, sending somebody flying with a shockwave grenade, but it is really distracting, right? Like, when I get hit with this thing and I just go flying in the air with a balloon and then I just get beamed out of the air. Remember, the Mr. Blasty revolver was already very good on its own. Then you give it a version like this, which is doing more damage and also that exotic ability, which is going to 100% distract opponents. This is a beefy pistol. This thing hits like an absolute truck. For me right now, it is the best weapon this season. If you find it on the ground, you absolutely should be taking it. No reason to leave it behind. But of course, these rankings are just my opinion. Alrighty, folks, please be sure to let me know in the comment section what you thought about this list. Of course, this list is scuffed a little bit just because it is so early in the season and things are going to get buffed, things are going to get nerfed. Literally in a week, we're going to be getting new mythic items. So, of course, take this with a grain of salt, and I just want to kind of recap here. If I were to, separate these items into their own category, I would rank these shotguns best to worst as the Enhanced TAC shotgun, then the Thunder shotgun, then the TAC, and then the Ranger. For the ARs, I would say the best would be the Striker, followed by the Infantry and the Suppressed Scar. And then for the SMGs, SMGs, I think you've got the enhanced compact SMG at the top, the machine SMG right below that, and then the compact SMG being the worst. Just want to recap that because this loot pool is just so balanced, really unfair to kind of rank them all against each other. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comment section down below what you've thought of this season so far, besides the crashes. I mean, we all hate the crashes. Epic. Come on, bro. Get your server straight. Thanks again so much for watching. Subscribe for more Simpsons content, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace.